Ron, I'd even take that a step further and suggest that even if you don't find them that perfect house, the fact that you had the conversation about, hey, I'm going to be looking for, right? Like all of a sudden you're different.
It goes so far. Yeah. The proactivity. Yep.
100%. I mean, it also makes such a difference.
And it shows you, it's one of those things that we sit down. One of the things that I am constantly preaching. The Young team has a database of about 55,000 people. 45,000 of them are homeowners. We leverage Fellow. It's a big component of Fellow. But one of the things when we sit down with buyers, the first question we ask is, I'm curious, of all the other agents that you're talking to, or how many homes have you seen off market? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, what's off market? And it's like, wait, you've never seen any inventory off market. You're only waiting for homes to come on the market and then reacting with all the other buyers, right? One of the values of working with the Young team is, and I pull up our database and we type in Pepper Pike, we have 1,700 homeowners in Pepper Pike that have opened emails from us in the last 30 days. Tell me more about, we're looking for 3,500 square feet. All right, filters down. We're looking for 5 bedrooms, filters down. I've got, 130 homeowners in my database that meet all your criteria. One of the differences when you work with us is we're going to approach these people off market and see if your home would be a great fit for them. Now, the best part about it is you generate listings as a byproduct by proactively looking for homes for your buyers off market. Because when I'm calling Michael and saying, I know this is kind of random, but I'm working with a buyer. They've signed a buyer representation. They're totally financially qualified. They have complete flexibility in their timing. They want a home that's very similar to yours. And if there's an opportunity that made financial sense, would you be open to looking at an offer? Great, you would. Where would you go if you sold? And so do you see how this game keeps playing? And one of the things, the Young team, we sell about 20% of our homes either off market or internally. Both our agents participate in the transaction, because one of the biggest missed opportunities within the real estate organization, the real estate industry, is over the past 10 years, it's been really in vogue to have a team, right? Yet we don't work as a team, right? We work as an organization of a bunch of individuals. The Young team text is wild. Like, it is literally, hey, I just got another listing appointment. Who do we have? Hey, I just signed a buyer representation agreement. What sellers can we go find? We work together, and the byproduct of that is everyone ends up winning as individuals by all of us working together as a team.
Yeah.
I get all fired up on this stuff.
Well, no, because you're absolutely right. Right. It's funny. Chris Heller and I, when we started building teams back in, oh my gosh, man, the early 90s, nobody's building teams. Jay Kinder was one of the ones that came along then. It was kind of him, me, Chris, and a couple others. And it was very few people across the country. And we were just kind of learning, like, what does this look like? And at first it was really, for us, it was more of a necessity, because for us to continue to grow beyond our current capacity, we had to bring other people on to help with that. And it started off with assistants, and then it went from, we're going to bring on an assistant to now we need a transaction coordinator. Now, oh my gosh, I got so many leads. I can't, as an agent, handle all of this myself.
Right.
Now we had to start bringing other agents on. And so through necessity, we started growing these teams. Well, then, like to your point, about 10 years ago, teams become kind of the in vogue thing, right? Like the teams are making all the money, so I got to have a team, right? If I don't have a team, I'm not really serious about this business, right? So everybody starts going and starts building these teams. And the problem is that they started building them wrong, and they built them around weak ideologies. And what I mean by this is, example, hey, if I give the best splits, I can get more people on my team. Right. And so we saw, particularly in California, I love it in California. Oh, if I give them a 70% split, then, I'll get more people to want to be on my team, and I'll give them all these leads, and I'll give them blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden you get all these team leaders that start going under, and they can't, they're not making
no margin.
There's zero margin. Right. And there's no reason for that team leader to continue to be a team leader. They were better off as a solo agent. And so they start getting disillusioned on teams because they think the model doesn't work. No, you just went with, you selected some things within the model that didn't work. And
Young team cost of sale last year. Sorry to interrupt. I just think it's super important. Young team cost of sale last year was 44%, right? Which means that ultimately 56% to the Young team, 44% to the agent. And a lot of, our listing partners get 30%. And a lot of people are like, there's no way they'll stay. Our listing partners have all been with us for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. 8 times moving 10 years. We have a repeatable, we have very predictable ways to generate opportunities for them. They go on the listing appointment. They go there one time. They get paperwork signed. They turn it in, and they never go back to the house again. And then they go focus on more listings. And so the efficiency, the reason why it's 50 homes minimum for listing partners, it's the efficiency of the model, and the reason why it's the lowest splits, they're the highest earners on our team. And it's like the two are correlated. If you're focused on what is the net split, you're not the right fit for our team. If you focus on all the value and how we can help you actually build a real business and help you scale, we are the right fit. And we tell people as soon as we sit down with them, if anyone's in Cleveland, you can use this against us when it comes to recruiting, which I'm totally comfortable with. We have the lowest splits in all of Northeast Ohio. And it's not that we're proud of it. It's just, we have not bent or deviated from what our splits are, because it allows us to invest in other things that provide more value. We are always about more value add versus a race to the bottom and saying, if I give you more, but I have very little to give you outside of the split, you're going to leave anyways. Might as well go be an individual agent. So it's something just philosophically that I think is really important. And also, Bob Corcoran, a coach of mine a decade ago, used to always say, once you change that split, once you give it, you can never take it back, right? And so that was something that we always focused on, which was, how do you give more, but outside of the split? How can we provide more value? How can we make larger investments into their growth of their business? And I'm so grateful that that's one of our core kind of like pillars.
Club Wealth is the only coaching company on the planet that will literally guarantee that you will double your income or make at least an extra $100,000 your first year coaching with us, or we will give you 100% of your investment back. Click the link below, sign up for the appropriate tier level, and let's get you a strategy session today. And I promise you, I 100% guarantee you, promise you that you will walk away with a heart full of gratitude for the time that we took for you, because you got so much value out of that call. Schedule your strategy session today. I promise you'll be glad you did.